A woman of two worlds, introducing Karen Blixen. Born in Denmark in 1885, Karen Blixen, also known by her pen name Isak Dinesen, was a woman of remarkable talent and resilience. Her life was a tapestry woven with threads of adventure, creativity, and profound human experience. Karen Blixen was an amazing woman. She was not only a writer, but also an adventurer and a storyteller who captivated the world with her vivid narratives. Her life was a journey that took her from the serene landscapes of Denmark to the wild, untamed beauty of Africa. She was a writer, an adventurer, and a storyteller. Her stories were not just tales, but reflections of her own life experiences, filled with the richness of the cultures she encountered and the landscape she explored. Blixen's writing was deeply influenced by her time in Africa, where she managed a coffee plantation in Kenya. Blixen is best known for her book, Out of Africa. This memoir, published in 1937, is a poignant account of her years spent in Kenya. It beautifully captures the essence of the African landscape and the complexities of colonial life. The book was later adapted into an Academy Award-winning film, further cementing her legacy. This book tells the story of her life in Kenya. It is a vivid portrayal of her struggles and triumphs, her love for the land, and her interactions with the local people. Blixen's narrative is imbued with a deep sense of place and a profound respect for the natural world. She wrote about her experiences with passion and honesty. Her writing style is characterized by its lyrical quality and its ability to convey the beauty and harshness of life. Blixen's works are a testament to her ability to find poetry in the everyday and to transform her personal experiences into universal stories. Karen Blixen showed us the beauty of Africa. Through her words, she painted vivid pictures of the African plains, the wildlife, and the people she met. Her descriptions are so evocative that readers can almost feel the heat of the sun and hear the sounds of the savannah. She also showed us the strength of the human spirit. Blixen's life was marked by personal loss and hardship, yet she remained resilient and determined. Her stories often reflect this inner strength, portraying characters who face adversity with courage and grace. Her stories continue to inspire us. They remind us of the power of storytelling and the importance of preserving our memories. Blixen's works are not just literary achievements, they are windows into her soul and the world she lived in. They remind us to live our lives with courage and grace. Blixen's legacy is one of resilience, creativity, and a deep appreciation for the beauty of life. Her words continue to resonate with readers around the world, encouraging us to embrace our own journeys with an open heart. Blixen's life was full of adventure and challenges. From managing a coffee plantation in Kenya to navigating the complexities of colonial society, she faced numerous obstacles. Yet she always found a way to turn her experiences into compelling stories that touched the hearts of many. Through it all, she found her voice. Blixen's writing is a reflection of her inner world, her thoughts and her emotions. She had a unique ability to capture the essence of her experiences and to share them in a way that was both personal and universal. She used her words to share her unique vision with the world. Karen Blixen's legacy lives on through her books, which continue to inspire and captivate readers. Her life and work remind us of the power of storytelling and the enduring impact of a well-told tale. From fairy tales to Africa, Karen Blixen's early life. Karen Blixen, also known by her pen name Isak Dinesen, was a woman of remarkable talent and vision. Her life story is one of adventure, creativity, and resilience. Born into a world of stories, she would go on to create her own tales that would captivate readers around the globe. Karen Blixen was born in Denmark in 1885. Her birthplace, Rungstedlund, was a charming estate on the shores of the Øresund Strait. The serene Danish countryside, with its rolling hills and picturesque landscapes, provided a perfect backdrop for her imaginative childhood. She grew up in a world of fairy tales and stories. Her family home was filled with books, and young Karen spent countless hours immersed in the magical worlds they contained. These early experiences with literature would shape her future as a writer. Her father, Wilhelm Dinesen, was a writer and a world traveler. He had a profound influence on Karen, instilling in her a love for storytelling and a curiosity about the world beyond Denmark. His adventurous spirit and literary pursuits were a source of inspiration for her. He filled her young mind with exciting tales. Wilhelm's stories of far-off places and daring exploits ignited Karen's imagination. She would often dream of the adventures she might have one day, fueled by the vivid narratives her father shared. As a young woman, Karen longed for adventure. She was not content with the quiet life of the Danish countryside. Her dreams were filled with images of distant lands and exotic cultures. She yearned to explore the world and experience its wonders firsthand. She dreamed of faraway lands. Maps and globes fascinated her, and she would spend hours poring over them, imagining the places she might visit. Her desire to see the world was a driving force in her life, pushing her to seek out new experiences and challenges. In 1914, she married her second cousin, Baron Bror von Blixen-Finnecker. Their union was not just a marriage, but a partnership in adventure. Together, they shared a passion for exploration and a desire to break free from the constraints of their conventional lives. Together, they moved to British East Africa. This move marked the beginning of a new chapter in Karen's life. The journey to Africa was long and arduous, but it was also filled with excitement and anticipation. The couple was eager to start their new life in a land that was vastly different from their homeland. Africa was a world away from Denmark. The contrast between the two places was stark. Denmark's gentle, green landscapes were replaced by the vast, untamed wilderness of Africa. The sights, sounds, and smells of this new land were unlike anything Karen had ever experienced. It was a land of vast plains, wild animals, and vibrant cultures. The diversity of Africa's landscapes and its rich cultural heritage captivated Karen. She was fascinated by the wildlife, the people, and the traditions she encountered. Every day brought new discoveries and adventures. Karen was captivated by its beauty and mystery. Africa became a source of endless inspiration for her writing. The experiences she had and the people she met during her time there would leave an indelible mark on her work, influencing her stories and shaping her legacy as one of the great literary figures of the 20th century. The African Sun and Shadows, Life on the Coffee Plantation. Karen and her husband bought a coffee plantation. Life on the farm was hard work. Karen had to learn how to manage the workers and the crops. She faced many challenges. There were droughts, pests, and diseases that threatened the coffee plants. Her marriage also faced difficulties. Despite the hardships, Karen grew to love Africa. She developed a deep respect for the land and its people. She learned to speak Swahili. She formed strong bonds with the local Kikuyu people. Section 4. A Writer is Born, Return to Denmark and Literary Beginnings. In 1931, Karen Blixen's life changed forever. After spending nearly 2 decades in Africa, she faced a turning point that would redefine her future. The vibrant landscapes of Kenya, the rich culture, and the people she met there had left an indelible mark on her soul. But life, as it often does, took an unexpected turn. Her marriage ended, and she was forced to leave Africa. The coffee farm she had poured her heart into was no longer sustainable. The financial strain and personal heartbreak were overwhelming. She packed her belongings, leaving behind the land that had become a part of her very being. She returned to Denmark heartbroken and financially ruined. The contrast between the bustling streets of Copenhagen and the vast open plains of Africa was stark. She felt like a stranger in her own homeland, grappling with the loss of her dreams and the reality of her new circumstances. Back in Denmark, she turned to writing. It was not just a means to an end, but a lifeline. The stories she had carried with her from Africa began to take shape on paper. Writing became a way to process her grief and to find meaning in the chaos that had upended her life. She needed to find a way to support herself. The economic hardships of the 1930s were felt worldwide, and Denmark was no exception. Jobs were scarce and opportunities were limited, especially for a woman who had spent so many years away from her native land. But Karen was determined to carve out a new path for herself. She also needed to make sense of her experiences in Africa, the memories of the people she had met, the challenges she had faced, and the beauty she had witnessed were too powerful to be left unspoken. Writing allowed her to relive those moments and to share them with the world. Writing became her solace and her salvation. Each word she penned was a step towards healing. Her stories were not just tales of adventure, but reflections of her inner journey. Through her writing, she found a voice that resonated with many, offering a glimpse into a world that was both exotic and deeply personal. She had already published a few stories under the pen name Isak Dinesen. These early works hinted at the depth of her talent and the richness of her experiences. They were well received, giving her the encouragement she needed to continue. Now she devoted herself fully to her craft. The hours she spent writing were not just about creating stories, but about reclaiming her identity. Through her dedication and passion, Karen Blixen transformed her pain into art, leaving a legacy that continues to inspire. Section 57, Gothic Tales and Out of Africa Literary Masterpieces. In 1934, Karen Blixen published her first collection of stories, 7 Gothic Tales. This book was a success. It established her as a talented writer, but it was her next book that would make her a literary icon. Out of Africa, published in 1937, was a memoir of her time in Kenya. The book was an instant classic. It captured the imagination of readers around the world. It was translated into many languages. It won numerous awards. Section 6, Fate, Destiny, and the Human Spirit themes in her stories. Karen Blixen's writing is full of powerful themes. She wrote about fate, destiny, and the human condition. She explored the complexities of love, loss, and identity. Her stories are often set in exotic locations. They feature strong, independent characters who are trying to find their place in the world. Blixen believed that life was full of both joy and sorrow. She believed that we should embrace it all. Her writing reflects this philosophy. Section 7. Life is a Grand Story, Karen Blixen's Philosophy. Karen Blixen had a unique philosophy of life. She believed that life itself was a story. She thought that we are all characters in a grand narrative. She believed that we should live our lives with passion and purpose. She encouraged us to embrace adventure. She also reminded us to find beauty in everyday moments. Blixen's philosophy is reflected in her writing. Her stories are full of life, love,